Sliding down the last street as the day creeps. What you doing with nobody at home? Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul. Come on. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got. Oh, oh, oh. I said, roll up, get come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, get come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I'll be waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Extra touch and
Thank you, Larry. So the picks are in. We welcome you to this Draft Champions contest. I'm Brandon. And let's get to it. Down to the field. It's time for kickoff. And it's the birth of a new club as we're underway in Draft Champions. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Flush to his right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Following the interception here, Mariota. And his first look is incomplete. Tim Brown, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Seattle. 48 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They go play action here on 1st down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Marquise Lee from 13 yards out. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's caught. Lockett. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but, boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Now Manning. He's going to launch this thing way down, and that's caught inside the 35. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 51 yards. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window. and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Mariota now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Third and long here for Mariota. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on third and long like that, how does that happen that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
One of the things that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming out of blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
On third down, Mariota. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again. Yeah,
now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Now a direct snap back to Williams. Oh, design run for their wideout. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. Back near the goal line. Here's Manning. Looking for Cruz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
Mariota from the gun on third down. He gets Gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Sam Acho in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. And Frank's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a little fortunate there because that one was definitely leaking right.
Without a doubt. Maybe about the width of a football or so inside that right upright. But he got it to go.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They go back to the air here after the INT. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Play action. Manning. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The veteran Andre Johnson the target on that one. And it's 3rd down. They come up in an offset eye. Manning going to throw. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And out now come the Seahawks. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Mariota to throw it. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Mariota now. That is caught at the 7. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Now Franks for the extra point. And he pushed it right. It's no good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence.
And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They come out here in the eye. Manning to throw on second down. Steps away. On the catch, it's Andre Johnson. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now a play fake here on first down. Buying time to his left. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Escaping the pressure right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Manning. And that one was relatively easy. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched.
We're awake, we're alive, got the fire in our eyes. We're the kings, we're the queens, and if this is just a dream, don't wanna wake up. Let this feeling break know the part of the song everybody sings along. Well, that's us. Listen up, shout it out. I'm talking all night. The end is nowhere in sight. From the streets to the tracks, here's some never looking back. 'Cause the past doesn't last long as we're together. Just keeps getting better. Just keeps getting better. We know we are brighter than all the stars. As long as we're together, we'll stay young forever. We make the rules, break 'em when we want to. As long as we're together, we'll stay young forever. Forever. Young forever. We'll stay young forever. Unwinding every moment, like the clock is broken. Never stopping, never slowing. Yeah, we're living wide open. Unwinding every moment, like the clock is broken. Never stopping, never slowing. Yeah, we're living wide open. We know we are brighter than all the stars. As long as we're together, we'll stay young forever. We make the rules, break 'em when we want to. As long as we're together, we'll stay young forever. Forever. Young forever. We'll stay young forever.
3 Chainz. Ow. Caught up in my, put your head on backwards, then skate off after, engage in laughter about what just happened. Napkins get sent to mammies, is that too graphic? Catch you in traffic, you sitting daffy like stealing candy. My ceiling's absent, my wheels are massive, my friends assassins. All of us, our mothers queens and our women dancers. My rivers rapping, my fingers splashing, my gills are flapping. I bit some matches, then sip something and kiss the dragon.
I'm really rapping, no fingers snapping, them packing. Y'all slipping, my swag is dripping, so here's a napkin. What's really happening? Verbal attacking, I'm showing passion. Know what I mean? See, I'm the king, like I'm from Akron. I'm going overboard. Somebody call the captain. And when it come to getting checks, I always want the fat ones. I'm so I can sing to a chandelier. My flow a glass of spade and yours a can of
Too many buttons, not enough. These bugging, the SWAT is coming. Shoulder, no shoulder shrugging at your nugget. Sticky like acupuncture in Magnus Honey. Knock on the side door 3 times and have your money. Or get to stepping like Kappa stomping. I slap. I'm having lunch with Italian Sonny. Don't ask the subject. Lord, why you took rabbit from me? He said don't ask me nothing. Too many bodies, too many bundles. Not enough. These bugging, I heard they stung you. It's gonna be trouble. We come through and catch you while you cuddle. Barrels like tunnels. Don't even mumble.
I'm back to ballin', I'm in the back full of only. Pull on the scene enough. Queen playing Pastor Troy. Ready turkey, spaghetti, and castor oil. That's turn your guillotine to a fashion show. In 4 minutes, I turn this into forensics in a foreign car with a foreign. It's long-winded, paper long, and you taking long. You just don't get it. On the phone up on Say Tony, want a song with me. Hotter than Mississippi, the summer of the 1950s. In a van full of some white. Get pulled over for swerving like hi, officer. When he asked me why I was swerving, I'm officer.
I can make it bounce by myself. 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 I can make it bounce by myself.
Got a mansion, a condo, a cabin. I sleep in my phantom. Dancing with the stars to the Star-Spangled Banner. I change your channel, I change your pattern. I ring your Saturn. I your madam, she get and I shake the ladder. I make her and gather and calculate the data. I listen up for the snakes or the baby rattle. I play the shadows, don't play no games. I straight get at 'em. I'm on a all day, like it's my favorite album.
I play the salmon, the Cayman Islands dancer. If I don't get the car first, I have a temper tantrum. I innovative, I demonstrated this, played it. I don't care if you owe me it. You need to pay me. I kiss your lady, then kiss the baby. Get situated, get keys off table and leave her. I really made it, get it made. Won't wrestle, cause I spatula all you action figures.
Tiny like a spider on a spud web. I got some on my thumbnail. I feed it to my girls. They say, yeah.
I'm doing this for the L. When I go, I'ma leave for the belt. I told you did like a Chevy. I want a Ferrari in yellow, just so I can match all my yellow. I've been a player since elementary. I got more bars than a penitentiary. I got a that ain't several inches.
I can make it bounce by myself. 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 I can make it bounce by myself.
My second body cost a lot. After I bought it, I just wore it home. Reading philosophy and gossip rags. Spending my bottom dollar on my toes. I'm a pacifist who's never not been pacified. I'm a piece of... It's a point of pride. I'm the super rich complaining I want more in life. Cry, baby, cry, oh, cry, baby, cry, oh. I don't really care where I stand in the winner's circle. Make room for a man from the middle with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference to me. I don't understand what you're saying, only kinda listen. Make room for a man on a mission with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference. I lost the weight and then I start to tumble. My mind betrayed me many years ago. I walk alone to keep from slipping under. Got lost as soon as I stepped out the door. I'm the martyr who just never got his time to shine. I'm a punk kid, why? Nothing finer than the taste of tears.
Oh, how about this for a tough choice early on? Which direction they go here is going to say a lot about what this team wants to do. Whoever's making the final decision here might have a coordinator in each year. Do you go offense or defense? And this is a big piece of the puzzle right here. Maybe a no-brainer, but a great pick regardless. Oh, and that's a key upgrade right there. He's versatile, athletic, and a big upgrade over what they had. These middle rounds are where your decisions can really impact your team. Because if you pass on certain positions, there's no guarantee you're going to see him again. Tough call here. Do you try and get tougher up front? And I think that pick comes to the surprise of nobody. You had to figure they'd lean that way if a player from that team became available. Maybe not a huge upgrade over what they had already, but they're certainly building up some depth there. Well, not too tough to see into the thought process of that pick.
I'm coming back to join the cast of Carmen. I never sung a single song before. I don't really care what I stand.
Now it's getting to the time of the draft where you really want to get lucky and hope somebody falls into your lap. Instant impact right there. That's a big leap forward from what they had on the roster to begin with.
I'm on a mission with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference.
It's the age-old question on draft day. What's the bigger need, offense or defense? 3 choices here, all of them impact players.
How do you fall in love?
Boy, it's finger-crossing time now. With the end in sight and a few more holes to fill, you've got to be hoping that there's still a gem or two that becomes available. Boy, it's finger-crossing time now. With the end in sight and I tell you, you're not going to get too far in this competition without a superstar or two. And this guy right here certainly fits that billing.
So shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hands, will it make me a sinner? Like a river, like a river. Shut your mouth and run me like a river. Choke this love till the veins start to shiver. One last breath till the tears start to wither. Like a river.
Boy, we've just gotten started here, and already these guys have been handed a really difficult decision to make. One thing this team's going to need is some leaders, and they've got one right here.
Tales of an endless ride. Cursed is a fool who's
Well, the Bengals have got a handful of real good... Two words here. Difference maker. That's what that pick right there is.
is away from killing. Don't you say, don't you say it. Don't say, don't you say it.
So, with a handful of starters already nailed down, you have to ask yourself, do you dare go for depth, or do you just try to cover as many areas? Yeah, here's a spot where the fan base... Yeah, I don't think you needed a crystal ball to see that pick coming. That's all about loyalty and familiarity right there.
Like a river, shut your mouth and run me like a river.
And this team does have a lot of needs, but this guy is a legitimate star, and he'll make everyone around him better.
Tears start to wither. Like a river.
And I think that pick comes to the surprise of no one. You had to figure they lean that way if a player from that team became available.
Like a river. Like a river.
And with time running short, you've got to hope some guys fall into your lap, or you... Boy, you talk about a talented player. This guy's one of the best around. And now, which side of the football will they address here? Some interesting options either way. Options here on both sides of the football. It's pretty much of a coin flip if you ask me. What to do here? Build up the interior of your line or get that skilled player to add another weapon? Still a few holes on this roster and not a lot of time left to do anything about it. Oh, did they get themselves a player here or what?
Writings on the wall. There's more than meets the eye with her. And nothing I can do. I'm left without a clue. She sees it all in black and white or blue. She's got a rainbow heart. One day she's gonna fall. She's got a rainbow heart.
Boy, we've just gotten started here, and already these guys have been handed a really difficult decision to make.
No, she never will admit the what she wants she never get. She never knows just when to quit. I stole it up the skies. Her heart is where I fire line.
so important to find players you can really commit to in these first few rounds. You'd hate to have to readdress these same positions. Boy, you talk about a friendly turn to the cards. This is a great round for these guys as they get themselves a dynamic player right here. Definitely some options with this pick. Do you take a skill player? Well, not too tough to see into the thought process of that pick. Some tough choices coming up right about now. Yeah, I don't think you needed a crystal ball to see that pick coming. That's all about loyalty and familiarity right there. Yeah, I think with that pick, you're just looking to build up your core. Get some guys in here that can help round out the roster. One Kansas City Chief is gone already. Here's a chance to have a teammate join him. And now is where you need to make these last picks count. Time to fill any holes you can before it's too late. Where to now? Do you get yourself a big brute for the trenches or someone who can really help you out at the playmaking type spot? Both offensive and defensive options here. They might have to ask themselves which side of the ball needs more attention. Always a tough decision, offense or defense. It's all about finding the right balance when you're putting a team together. Now it's getting to the time of the draft where you really want to get lucky and hope somebody falls into your lap. Boy, it's finger crossing time now. With the end in sight and a few more holes to fill, boy, the skills just leap out at you with this guy. He will be a very important part of this ball club. Still a long way to go in this draft, but if you can lock up a few... Yeah, not too much analysis needed here. This is quite a get at this stage of the draft. Boy, you talk about a friendly turn of the cards. This is a great round for these guys as they get themselves a dynamic player right here. Oh, no need to worry about this guy. Just plug him right into a starting role, and he'll be a massive upgrade. In these middle rounds, you have to start asking yourself, do you settle for what's available now, or do you try and push your luck? Where to now? Do you get yourself a big brute for the trenches, or someone who can really help you out at a playmaker type? Oh, no need to worry about this guy. Just plug him right into the starting role, and he'll be a massive upgrade.
Look who's serving. I'm your man. I'm your man.
This is a pretty telling pick here. Do you go for a big? And I think that pick comes to the surprise of nobody. You had to figure they lean that way if a player from that team became available. Boy, it's finger crossing time now. With the end in sight and a few more holes to fill, you've got to be hoping that there's still a gem or two that becomes available. A bit of a dilemma with this threesome. Excellent selection. Just what this team needs to maybe get him over the hump.
Throwing rocks at the glass house. Throwing rocks at the glass house.
And now, which side of the football will they address here? Some interesting options either way. And with time running short, you've got to hope some guys fall into your lap, or you could be left with some real holes on your roster. Still a few holes on this roster and not a lot of time left to do. Yeah, no surprise here. Anytime you can get your hands on a player of his caliber, I think you pretty well have to pull the trigger.
Save my soul. I can feel it coming, troubles in the air. Oh my Lord, the light is going down and the week is here.
All right, Larry, thank you. It is indeed time for a Draft Champions matchup and what is set to be a great Draft Champions matchup. In the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis, and these guys should have a huge impact on the outcome of this game. They're ready to roll. We're ready to roll. Let's roll. And it's the birth of a new club as we're underway in Draft Champions. To return, here's Chris Conley. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. They'll throw on first down here with Palmer. It's complete to Chris Conley. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. A big gain there on the first play of the game. And even 60 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
From the red zone now, here's Palmer on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now it's Palmer. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and that takes us from second to third down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Open man, it's Vernon Davis. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route,
throwing again here, Palmer. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Vernon Davis, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Now Andrew Frank's on for the point after. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Now White on the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. It's a 4-receiver look to the right side. Here's McCoy. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 25 yards out of that one. And the Seahawks are going to have a first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to have a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now McCoy. Oh, the spin. A strong running. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And now on 4th down, Gus Bradley will turn it over to the field goal unit. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And the 13-year man puts it through, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This is taken at his 4. Spinning past him. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why?
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. That one goes for 24 yards.
Strength throwing the football downfield has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to him, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
Such a presence, Carson Palmer.
Very much so. Has had it ever since he entered campus there, and still has it today.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. On second down, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Get ready.
On second down, here's Palmer. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Let's go.
Now Palmer on third and long. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to air one out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Following the penalty, it's Peterson. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Tackle made that time by Dan Skuda.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And Walker with it over the middle. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. Time to step aside. We're back to Baltimore after this. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. It's 3rd down.
And you just know when that...
Three chains. Ow. Caught up in my... Put your head on backwards. Then skate off after engaging laughter about what just happened. Assassins, all of us... Our mothers, queens, and our women dancers. My rivers rapping, my finish splashing, my gills are flapping. I bit some matches and sip something and kiss the dragon.
I'm really rapping, no finger snapping, them packing. Y'all slipping, my swag is dripping, so here's a napkin. What's really happening? Verbal attacking, I'm showing passion. Know what I mean? See, I'm the king like I'm from Akron. I'm going overboard. Somebody...
Oh, a tough decision on their hands now. And this, early on, it's one you can't afford to get wrong.
My flow a glass of spade and yours a can of
Too many buttons, not enough. These bugging, the SWAT is coming. Shoulder, no shoulder, shrugging at your nugget. Sticky like acupuncture and Magnus Honey. Knock on the side door.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy who can elevate that entire unit. He's a very talented addition.
Italian Sonny, don't ask the subject. Lord, why you took rabbit from me? He said don't ask me nothing.
And this is a big piece of the puzzle right here. Maybe a no-brainer, but a great pick regardless.
It's gonna be trouble. We come through and catch you while you cuddle. Barrels like tunnels. Don't even mumble.
I'm back to balling them.
Tough call here. Do you try and get tougher up front or get yourself a player in what we call a skill position?
Turn your guillotine to a
Still some big holes remaining to be filled. Here's where you may have to go after a lower-rated player just to make sure you get coverage in all areas. Oh, no question that this guy's going to grade out as a huge impact over what was there before.
The 1950s in a van full of some white. Get pulled over for swerving like hi, officer. When he asked me why I was swerving, I'm swerving, officer.
I can make it bounce.
Yeah, here's a spot where the fan base would be clamoring for a skill player. But do you listen to him? Oh, I tell you, you're not going to get too far in this competition without a superstar or two. And this guy right here certainly fits that billing. Well, not too tough to see into the thought process of that pick.
I can make it bounce by myself.
Got a mansion, a condo, a cabin. I sleep in my phantom. Dancing with the stars to the Star-Spangled Banner. I change your channel, I change your pattern, I ring.
And now is where you need to make these last picks count. Yeah, I don't think you needed a crystal ball to see that pick coming. That's all about loyalty and familiarity. And there's a pick that does fill a hole, but I'm not sure that it's really going to be the one that improves the overall squad a tremendous amount.
If I don't get the call first,
These are tough decisions here, offense or defense. Which side has the more pressing need?
you need to pay me. I kiss you later. then kiss the baby. Get situated, get keys off table and leave it.
Now it's getting to the time of the draft where you really want to get lucky and hope somebody. One thing this team's going to need is some leaders, and they've got one right here.
Well, I got some on my thumbnail. I feed it to my girls. They say, yeah.
I'm doing this for the L. When I go, I'ma leave for the barrel. I told you did like a chef. I went up for
Boy, you talk about a talented player. This guy's one of the best around.
I got my boss in the penitentiary. I got it that ain't several inches.
I can make it bounce by myself. 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 I can make it bounce by myself.
Oh, how about this for a tough decision early on? Which direction they go here is going to say a lot about what this team wants to do. Well, the Bengals have got a handful of real good assets to pick from. One's gone already. Could a second be on the way? Oh, did they get themselves a player here or what? Oh, this guy's a rare talent and a huge upgrade over what they had before. These middle rounds are where your decisions can really impact your team. Because if you pass on... Boy, you talk about a friendly turn to the cards. This is a great round for these guys as they get themselves a dynamic player right here. Yeah, I think they got the best player there, and they got a guy that fills a big need, so that's an excellent choice. What to do here? Build up the interior of your line or get that skill player to add another weapon? Definitely some options with this pick. Do you take a skill player here or get yourself some help up front? Boy, it's finger crossing time now. With the end in sight and a few more holes to fill, you've got to be hoping that there's still a gem or two that becomes available. Whoever's making the final decision here might have a coordinator in each year. Do you go up? And I think that pick comes to the surprise of nobody. You had to figure they lean that way if a player from that team became available. It's the age-old question on draft day. What's the bigger need, offense or defense? Boy, it's finger-crossing time now. With the end in sight and a few more holes to fill, you've got to be hoping that there's still a gem or two that becomes available. And with time running short, you've got to hope some guys fall into your lap, or you could be left with some real holes on your roster.
Yeah, come on!
Thank you very much, Larry Ridley. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. We are ready for this draft champions matchup as you get a quick peek at some of the stars in today's game. We're ready to go. Let's get down to kickoff. And it's the birth of a new club as we're underway in draft champions. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Peterson alone in the backfield. McCarron on first down. And hauled in by Pitta. Give him a couple on the catch at second. First carry for Adrian Peterson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And it's second down. Second and 10, Elway. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. On third down, Elway. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up fourth down. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Now here's McCarron on third. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. Fourth down.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
Yeah, Sanders now to return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you?
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They come up in an offset eye. On 2nd down, Elway. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now Elway to throw. Left side here to Sanders. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. In the slot on the right is Graham.
All right, here we go.
2nd and 10. Elway again. And this is caught at the 8. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. Billy Cundiff now to kick the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Watching now, Artie's Artie. Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
McCarron to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. Peterson alone in the backfield. And they'll go play action with McCarron. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. In the slot on the right is Graham. They'll run it now out of the gun. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Second down following the run. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Play action. It's Elway. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Elway. And this is going to be incomplete.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
So out now is the Seattle field goal team. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. And the 13-year man puts it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense, finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a fourth quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. On 2nd down, here's McCarron. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he's brought down. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Peterson alone in the backfield. Here's McCarron to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced him to execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give him a chance to let it develop a little bit. You can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And it's brought in by Pitta. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. Fresh set of downs here. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And his throw here's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play.
Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Brian Cushing. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. After the interception, here's Elway. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Elway. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Here's Jennings. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Calling a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. And now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Jacob Shum now, standing just outside his own goal line. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 19 yards there on the pickup. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Always enjoy a good fake, but I really enjoy it when he throws the football from punt formation. Now, you were a kicker and a punter in high school. Did you ever do that?
One time, threw to my man Tim Jones on a botched field goal attempt. Hit him right in the numbers, and Jonesy just dropped it.
Oh, the poor guy. Well, we had a fake punt here, and this guy caught it. So I think he and his friends will be okay with that one.
And he loves his play call, right? He's been waiting for this one all week long.
Been had that arm loosened up ever since they got to the stadium.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And now a 1st down following that long gain.
And depending on the type of screen called, especially when you're throwing it with one of your wideouts, it's different blocking. Sometimes you get great blocking from the other wide receivers helping you. And how about sometimes getting it from the offensive linemen who sell it like a regular screen pass and then get out in front of the receiver and help him get downfield.
2nd and 10, Elway. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball. Free and brings up 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the 2nd down incompletion. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Elway. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Sometimes it looks pretty simple, batting the ball away. But oftentimes there's some pretty good teaching and practice that goes into it. Being able to get to the receiver, not interfere, and get his hands through the football and knock it away.
And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Cundifon for the PAT. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field. And we are ready to rock. That's fielded in the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Kendall Wright, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up.
And got his man complete. The 20, 10. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Odell Beckham in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. That's complete right around the 8. But he is not going to make it into the end zone. They stop him short, so they'll add only 6 as we come up on halftime. Boy, still a half plus to play, but it is a 2-score game. They're going to go onside kick early. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
McCarron now on first down. Completes it to Danny Woodhead. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Danny Woodhead in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go to the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we reach halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you now to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, LR. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And they will be backed up deep as they'll have to start the drive from the 6-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Here's Elway to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 30, past the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 70 yards. From the red zone now, Elway on first down. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Eric Decker, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. On first down, McCarron flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 39 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker, which you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And there, the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, and now it's second down.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. On third and long, it's McCarron. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. Fourth down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that'll make this an 8-point game. A decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that